Hey guys, welcome to our podcast where it has to be said. My name is Elvis.
And I'm Denise.
Hey, let's talk.
Let's talk. It's been a week.
Yeah?
It always feels long when we don't talk. Here, at least.
Yeah.
Not that we don't converse outside of recording. You imagine?
No, we talk every day.
It's been crazy, guys.
Yeah.
It's been crazy. It's been
Crazier because I feel like every time we sit here, we're like, oh my God, it's crazy. We're doing this, we're doing that. And it doesn't stop this roller coaster, right?
I don't know if we do this to ourselves. I don't know. It just always feels like a lot is happening.
Yeah.
I feel that since starting the podcast, it's just been like a roller coaster of stuff between hiccups that have happened technology
I
wise,
don't know that. We didn't
system
even we didn't
wise.
even save all these hiccups.
No, but I'm saying like I just feel like between all those hiccups of the technical side, which
Yeah.
by the way, it's a lot of work. I know we've probably said this in another episode. It is a lot of work. It entails a lot of work. So when we do decide to skip a week, cut us some slack. Like
I've been asking for a vacation.
I told Elvis I feel that we should switch. We're definitely gonna switch to probably releasing over the weekend.
Yeah.
Because it's too chaotic during the work week. We both work a 35-hour work week job. I do sometimes overtime, and now I'm being an overachiever, and now I have a second job. Well, it's not being an overachiever. I am trying to get my clinical hours so I can have my license as a therapist. So in order to do that, you need hours to meet the license requirements with the state. So I took that on, which then also kind of trickles down to Elvis because while I'm doing therapy, who's doing everything else at home? It's gonna be him. Um,
And just to not stop you, but then our company got sold.
yes.
Well, half of our company got sold. So the new company that's going to acquire us, I'm not going to leave with them. I'm going to stay with the original company I'm with. That now, since we don't have two products and we have one, it entails me to be more now in the field. So
Yeah.
I've got to have at least minimal twice a week I'm in the field now versus being every single day at home. So I would have the flexibility. So yes, I have to kind of do everything else, but then I can't because I gotta work too. And then we also got Alina,
Yeah.
which depending what day of the week, what day you get her, she's either all over the place or she's a sweetheart.
Today was rough. I think yesterday you said too it was a little no.
Yesterday was horrible because it was the last day of the month for my job.
Yeah.
So I'm doing these phone calls, and then she just want to be on top of me. So and I can't get mad at her. I can't yell at her. I can't because no, we shouldn't
No,
because
I'm looking at it because I do it sometimes. My fuse is very
no,
short.
the first thing that you want to do is probably scream and stuff, but they're kids. They
Yeah.
don't know any better of is your last day of the month or you're stressed at work. They don't know. They're kids.
They just want you.
Yeah, they just want you. And I'm like, I don't want to put myself in a place where I'm like rejecting her. So I kind of try to play with her. I'm like, and then she start going like this. Oh, crazy. And it's almost like, how could you get upset at that,
Yeah.
right? So, I feel like it's been back to back. Plus,
So that was another
she
decision we had to make too.
that's why I was going to she started pre-K, but pre-K up here, unfortunately, it's not the city.
2.5 hours.
Yeah, so she was there from 12:30 to 3 o'clock. So it's like, okay, it's good that we don't have her, but then I gotta drop her off. Then I gotta go pick her up. In the midst of that, I have a meeting. I have this, I have that. So
It's
we
such a
just
short time to do that too. Like you literally you come back and
it's
then
almost
you
like
gotta
she
leave
never
again.
left. It's almost like
Yeah.
she never left. So we decided that we were gonna have to put her in private pre-K because I mean we couldn't. It's just too much.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I think also we realized a few days, a few hours that she was getting in pre-K, she was learning a lot. I mean,
Mhm.
she was talking about colors, about how we have two ears, two eyes, one nose, and it was like, man, like we can't, unfortunately, spend so much time giving her this educational part. So at
Yeah.
least in school, she's able to get it. So it's like
Yeah. I mean, she knew her colors, but you can tell how excited
you
she
can
is
tell as
to
much,
come
yeah.
back every day with something like,
Talk about her friends in
yeah, and her
school,
teacher.
her songs, and
Yeah, which I felt bad because I'm like, she's supposed to start in October, the new school, and I'm like, oh, we're gonna like disrupt her placement, and she's gonna be so sad. But she actually,
her parents are gonna be so happy.
yes, but she was actually telling, I think my mom on the phone that she was gonna be in a new school, so I guess she's looking forward to whatever that's gonna look like. So
Well,
it's
I started telling her that's why too.
yeah.
We kind of try to sneak in there, but the good thing is she'll be there from 8 in the morning to 5:45 unless we want to pick her up earlier.
Plus, Ellie's now in a sport where, is debatable
It's not a
sport.
sport.
We're not gonna play her. No, she has to
No,
practice.
she's doing
She still
something.
comes home sore. She's in cheerleading. So that's also an adjustment for us because I feel like we've been able to kind of prolong her not being in something. And now that also requires, okay, 6 o'clock, 6:30, someone gotta be there to pick her up.
Yeah,
So
yeah, but at least
it's
it's
a
six
lot. Man,
o'clock.
parenting is
Yeah, it's not.
a
Yeah,
lot. Like it I don't want to say that it never gets easier, but there's always something when
yeah.
it comes to being a parent, right? So like we have friends that are now back in the newborn stage again,
Hmm.
and I feel for them because when I see people with babies again, I think about like that stage for us when we were there, and as it don't matter the age, it doesn't matter the stage that you're in your life, you still feel those things, right? Like the being sleep
Yep.
deprived,
I don't miss that.
we didn't have the having two children under the age of two like she is they do, but it's still a lot. And then
No, it's not
you
easy. I
see
can't
them
imagine.
and you visit and I'm like, oh my god, I feel for them. And I'm like, oh, it's gonna get better, but then you're like, no, because then there's potty training, there's when they have tantrums,
Imagine the pre-K
when they
situation.
have
Imagine you have to pay for two.
yeah, so
It's not cheap.
all of that is like it just never gets easier. You just have to like try to do the best that you can with what you have.
Sometimes we get crazy thoughts about having another kid, and I'm like, do I really want to do all of that again? Nah, that's enough for me. You know what time is it? It's like 10 o'clock right now, something like
No,
that.
like
Where
8:30.
like well, it feels like ten
No, it's
o'clock.
nine
It's ten
twenty.
o'clock. You know, I came from the city, uh, um, laid down for a little bit. We took a shower and went to a cold plunge.
Yeah,
And we just got out of the cold plunge right now. Finally, she's back, guys. She's back in the cold plunge.
I did it once last week and I've kind of been slacking. I guess I don't know, it's easy to gravitate to being tired. But anyway, so talking about, it's just always something with our kids, and it can become so overwhelming.
Absolutely.
And what was I saying? Me sacaste
I'm sorry. Okay,
you
okay.
always do
It's okay. Yeah,
that.
but
Me sacaste el
just tell me
hilo.
that. Just tell me that.
Oh,
Listen.
because you said the third kid. So, I'm going to be honest. I feel like that. I don't think I have regrets in my life. It's just lessons. I feel like not having a third child might be something I will regret later on.
Yeah,
Because I would love to know if I would be able to, have a boy. Like,
absolutely.
and
I
what
would
that would
too.
feel like the love of a boy, because they say the boys are mom's love and whatever. Um, but then I think of all the like other practical stuff of having kids, like childcare, having to pay that now, like living up here. I'm like, we
It's
can't
not
do
even all
that.
the pain. It's also about the time spent time with them.
Yeah,
You know, because it's those moments where this is the moments you're never gonna get these moments again, right?
yeah,
Where they want your attention, they want you to be there, and I think a lot of times we're so stressed out that we're like, no, go over there, or no, I don't want to talk to you. But you're never gonna get those
that's
moments
me.
again. These are the
I know.
moments you have to cherish, and you have to like. She like, oh, daddy, could you read me a book? Oh, I know you're tired, dad, but read her the book because later on she's not gonna want to know about you. She's gonna be a teenager and want to not talk to you. So
Yeah,
I feel like every moment it is important. Every moment, and again, we're talking about stress. We're talking about life. We're talking about this rush, about everything that's going on at the same time, and it's just sometimes we just gotta like let's
stop,
just
pump
stop
the
for a
brakes.
second and figure out what could we do better. What could we like take out of our workload and kind of later on probably go back to that. Um, because if not, we're gonna get even more stressed.
Yeah. And I think like for us it's like we have these two that are in two different age groups and like developmental stages, and I feel like adding one more is going to take away from both. Um honestly, like Ellie's a teenager, so there's certain, and she's in high school, so there's a lot that's going to be happening in these next few years in that stage that we need to be kind of like a little bit upbeat and kind of paying attention to. Um,
No, I think these are crucial moments, right? I took her to the movies. What was it, 2 weeks ago,
hmm
right? I bought her dinner. I bought her the Crocs that she wanted. You
I
know,
need to
we,
start doing date nights with her,
you
but I
know, we,
don't because we spend so much money
see now
together.
you're gonna sacarme the hilo. Let me talk. So I bought her the
Yeah,
things. We were able to spend time together. She likes spending time when we is our alone time. She enjoyed the movie and stuff like that. And I think these moments, like she actually wants to go out and dinners with me and stuff like that. I don't know if it's to take all my stuff, but I rather give it and have that moment because in the course of us doing that, she gets to talk to me a lot, right?
yeah,
I don't have to say, "Oh, put the phone away," and no, she just has a lot to say in that particular moment. So, I think the more frequently we've been doing it, she feels like a lot more open to be able to talk to me. So it's like I want to continue doing that, but if I add another kid to the equation, I'm gonna have less time because I have to spread the time. And again, you said that there's different age groups too, so I'm not gonna play with Alina the same way I'm gonna play with Elenice,
mm-hmm,
right? It's gonna be something completely different, and vice versa. If we had another kid, also,
yeah. And then sometimes Ellie doesn't want to do the things Alina wants to do, so it's kind of like we find ourselves sometimes even splitting, right? So like if you're out with on date night with Ellie, then I'm home with Alina doing Alina
not
things.
only that, but you're doing your hours and getting your license, right? This is psychology, right? A therapist,
Counselor,
counselor,
therapist.
therapist. You're doing your hours there, and that's closer to the dreams that you have, right? You went to college for this, so this is something you really want. So you have a good job within the county, but you really want to be able
Yeah,
to do that. And I think that's also going to open doors not only in your career, but that's also going to open doors. I think in the ministry as well, right? And we
yeah,
also want to be involved in the ministry, right? We had the men's retreat. Now I'm planning, or we're planning a pantomime within the church as well. It's just like we're doing so many things at the same time. I have Puerto Rico and some projects that I can't talk about over there right now, but I have some things going on over there. It's like having another kid is going to restrict us of doing what we should be doing,
yeah.
and again, that's just going to add more stress.
And it's not us being like selfish because we already have two kids, you
Yeah.
know. But I think also is like I think I said it before in another episode. Is like I've been doing this since 17. Como que ya like I be like worn out. So
Yeah.
like you barely have the energy. So you have to be realistic and know, you know, you have a balance of it, right? Like at the end of the day, if God really wanted me to have a third one,
It will happen.
it would happen,
Oops.
right? I'm not taking the steps to make it happen,
No.
but if that's what he wants to do, then he'll do it.
Yeah.
There's nothing
I
that
think if
he
it comes that way, it's
there's
different.
nothing that he can't do. But
Yeah.
right now, I'm protected.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank the Lord. Hallelujah.
um. So yeah, but it's like those things. As much as beautiful as kids are, they can add to the load. They can add to the stress, especially if you're not able to financially have like one of the parents home,
Yeah.
right? To care for, to do those things, like the care, all the stuff that entails when you're being home. So you got to be realistic with what you can do.
Yeah.
And I think that's also part of stress management, knowing your limits. Like, I would like a third child. Is it really beneficial to the lifestyle we have and where we're trying to go? I don't think so. So why put myself in that position where I gotta test it out?
Yeah.
You know.
They don't need for none of that.
No. I mean ultimately I feel like it would work together for our good because that's the faith we have in God. But no thanks right now.
If we could live out of the podcast, then that would be good. I
Yeah,
think,
that'll be
yeah,
great.
yeah, yeah. We could just
Yeah, I
record
mean,
because it's still gonna tell
yeah,
work,
so don't quote us.
research.
Don't quote us if like in a few years you're like, "Oh, look at you guys having a kid now." If we were in a financial place where we had a lot more flexibility,
Yeah,
and we were more present both at home, or one of us more be able to be present at home, then yeah. But right now, no,
it's not working right now.
no. So I already feel better after talking just a
Yeah,
little
me
bit,
too.
right?
I love coming to just talking the podcast. I just think like so
It's just a
refreshing.
separation from our day to day.
Yeah.
It's like you're so busy every day, like you don't realize how busy you're. Like I don't even think this week I got to watch TV.
Yeah.
You know,
I always get to
even
watch
something
TV.
as simple, like I don't
I always
like.
watch my shows, always.
He does. He finds the time, but sometimes I'm just so warped out that like I'm like by at bed by 9. Granted, I'm just laying out.
You know what gets me upset or stressed out too?
But,
When I stop going to the gym.
oh yeah, that
Like,
does.
like I now I have been going like 3 times a week, but usually it's well like 2 times a week. I've been going 4 times usually. That gets me. I feel like that's like yesterday. I was like, no, I need to go to the gym because I'm stressed out. I want to go over there to kind of just like, ugh. So it's like for me, that's like an escape zone
Me
to be
too.
able. No, you don't. Stop it.
It's not working out is not for me. But I can see how that can be a stress reliever too.
Working out is for everybody. I think you should do some type of workout, even if it's just walking.
I mean,
So
sometimes I walk. I do feel more productive or more happier when we do get to do our walks.
yeah, exactly.
Cause you like is cutting out time. You have to, when stress comes, you have to find a way to cut out some time for something you enjoy. I
And
don't believe that you never not have any time for at least one task or something that you enjoy. You have to like incorporate that one way or another.
I think also your usage on your phone has also like been triggering you. You using
I
too much your
I've
phone,
been on my phone a lot
especially at
more.
night. Then you say you're gonna leave the phone like after 8 o'clock,
Shut
something like
up.
that. You gotta put it to no, but it's
I
stressful.
did.
It's almost
Mind
like
you, look
yo,
at
you
where I have it.
you know what we gotta do? We gotta fast social media a little bit.
Which is hard
Fast.
because you're trying to make, like, for me it's like I used to be able to like take breaks. Like I would sometimes just go on a hiatus, delete the apps and whatever. Nobody would
I think
notice.
you still could. You have.
But now it's harder because in my mind it's like, oh, I gotta upload a short. Like I wanna try to be active on the podcast to make it work, but then it's like I be tired. Like sometimes Elvis be seeing me like last night I came up in the night tired to look at like find a little video that I could make a short. Then you gotta sit and then edit it. Like is a lot. Um, right. But then I found myself, I'm like, man, I'm using my phone so much. And I didn't like my screen time was going up so much and
I
I'm
don't know.
like
Every time I look at her phone, she's looking at Rebelde. So I don't know what
so
she's
I've
talking
been
about.
rewatching on and off. I haven't today I did it while I was doing my hair.
Yeah,
That's
you said earlier you haven't watched TV.
today on, but it wasn't TV, it was on YouTube while I did
That's
my hair.
that's
It's not
TV.
the same
That's
thing.
T.
It's not
uh,
TV.
That
TV is the
that's
TV. Lo que
that's
está
a
en la
TV
sala.
show. That's a TV show.
All right, so I saw like 30 minutes of Rebelde while I did my hair real quick.
No, but Loki being in the phone so long is really
Eso te
it messes with you.
listen, I'm gonna do a whole other podcast for another day about like social media. Like I feel like it just does so much damage.
The fact that you can't put it to a side and just feel good, like you just want to touch it, almost like a
No,
magnet.
tampoco así.
Okay, so let's see. Later, after all of this,
Tampoco
I'm gonna
así.
take away the phone.
No,
Let's see
because
how you react.
later
No, no, no.
I'm gonna
That's
go
como que
lay down
tampoco
to
así.
watch Rebelde.
No, 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 no. You see, it's no rebelde, no social media, no text message, no to see the weather. You keep on like, oh no, I just
Yeah.
want to touch a phone because I wish what I was doing when we were waking up early. Well, you still wake up early, but I was waking up very early with you, and I would get in the cold plunge in the morning. I would put my phone to the side, like I didn't even
Yeah.
look at it, and I felt so much more productive not even looking at the phone in the very beginning. Like I would look at the time, but that's it. I will put it away. Like let's
Yeah.
not open that. Let's read a book. Let's read a Bible. Let's talk. Let's just look at the backyard, right? Drink a coffee, drink some water to try to do something, and you feel a lot more productive that way. But now it's like go straight to the phone, and that gets you stressed out too with everything
It
that's
does.
going
And
on.
it takes away time for other things that you could be doing, or even from like just doing something else that's more conducive to your well being.
Absolutely.
So I think definitely like putting down your phones can help alleviate some stress, especially if the stress is coming from what you're seeing on social media, right?
Yeah, but that's
Because
the funny part is always pops up. You could be going through stress because of this and that pops up in social media. You you know, you're going through a situation with your partner, all of a sudden it talks a whole bunch of podcasts talking about, yeah, you should break up, You should leave him. You should do this.
No, but I'm saying more like also like just even in the comparison, right? Because when you're on social media, it's like, oh, look at this person's life. This person's life looks a lot more glamorous. This person's life
You
looks
start
a lot more
comparing
better.
yourself.
So in that part, adding it adds stress to a situation that you probably didn't even have, right? Like
Hmm.
you just start thinking, comparing to that. So I think that's another thing to consider when deciding, you know what, maybe I need to cut back on the phone or social media, is how it's impacting your well-being, right? Because stress like literally causes you to shut down,
Yeah.
right? Because your brain is like on overload and you can't focus. It's hard to focus. You're easily distracted. Like you can become very unmotivated to do things because it's so much that your mind is thinking of to do it. It's almost like I don't want to do anything. So definitely the phone adds to that stress, right? And it's kind of like we're always busy,
Hmm.
right? We're so used to like being busy, instant gratification at a click of a finger, in a second. And sometimes we have to really sit back and just like pause, right? So that's part of like, mindfulness. They say meditation, prayer.
Yeah.
It's
Prayer.
it's taking a break, listening to a song that's really gonna like help you de-stress. Right now, again, we're trying to do things that are not gonna add to
Hmm.
the stress you're feeling. So I think it's important to kind of find things that work for you, right? If it means journaling, I don't know. There's so many things that you can do as a way of reducing stress. Um,
I think also tracking what you're doing too
yeah.
on a daily basis, like small. I think small goals too on a daily
Mm-hmm.
basis. Like I don't know, you wanna not have your phone for 30 minutes or talk to God for 30 minutes in the daytime. That's your goal for the day, right? So at the end of the day, did you meet these small goals throughout the course of your day? I think if there's something to measure, like if you could just write down,
Mm-hmm.
measure that, that'll be you're a lot more intentional of your time throughout the course of the day versus just I'm living to living. I don't
Yeah.
have like a game plan or I'm just going to work. That's it.
And setting realistic goals, right? Because if
That's
you
why I
know,
said small
yeah,
goals.
because measurable. Yeah, because if you know that you only have maybe 3 hours when you get home to yourself between the time of going to bed, you're not gonna put in your list a 2 hour workout because then where are you gonna have time for everything else?
Yeah.
Or how are you gonna have time to unwind before you go to bed?
And you don't want to do something too extreme, right? That's a perfect example. You haven't worked out and you're gonna go work out, 7 times a week. No, no, you 2 times, 3 times a week, 15 minutes, 30 minutes in the house if you have to do it. Cooking. If you're not cooking and you want to cook in the week, at least let me cook 3, 4 times a week versus eating outside every day, right?
My goal this week, I did one time this
Oh
week.
my gosh, Jesus, have mercy. So no, those are the little goals,
But
right?
it was a very good meal,
Yeah.
right? The steak bites,
No, that was
right?
amazing.
The steak
Yeah,
bites with the
that's the.
mash. It was
Yeah,
really
when are you
good.
gonna do that again? By the way, that was amazing.
Listen, but
But the
maybe
crazy part,
next week.
social media was the one that gave you
Oh
that
yeah, because I
that
found the guy.
recipe.
I found the guy on TikTok. I was like, "Oh, this looks good to make,"
Yeah,
and it was in my head like, "Oh, I gotta do it. I
it's
gotta do it."
good. It's very good.
Um, yeah, cooking is definitely a goal I would like to incorporate more, but with the way the schedule's gonna be, it's gonna be like
Well, I
once a
think
week still.
no, I think now it'll be a little bit better just because if the baby's in school all week, right? She starts within the next week.
The baby.
She's all of them are my baby, so she's gonna start it in pre-K. She'll be there all day. You'll have a lot more flexibility. We could probably even record more for the podcast because the day we're both in the house, both of the babies are gonna be out.
Yeah, and they don't come home
So
till late.
we would be able to record as well, and that would be less stress because we know we have to record, not because we have to, but because we want to.
Yeah,
So if we're able to do it early on, that's less stress in the table. So
it's
one
a
day at a
lot.
time.
It's a lot happening. You just gotta take it one day at a time and give yourself grace for the days that is not gonna be so great. Like today, I like lashed out on Ellie for no reason. She was right, but I'm not gonna tell her that. No, I will
You should.
later. But she's like, "Why are you yelling?" I'm like, "I'm not yelling," but I was yelling. But it's because I was just like so
You yelled at me
overstimulated
today too.
when I
Yeah, and
did.
he said sorry. You're
I
right.
did.
Yeah, I said, oh no, we can't do that. They steal ideas.
Oh, I did yell.
Uh,
I did. I raised my voice. That was different. But
yelled.
yeah, you got to pay attention to the signs to know when you're stressed. Obviously, if you're
Yes.
more irritable than usual, more tired than
And
usual,
if everybody around you is
and if
stressed,
everyone else around you is like, what's happening? There's some stress, right?
absolutely,
And yeah, it's been a lot, but we're going to make it through
absolutely.
because this is something we actually enjoy talking to
I'm
you
happy.
guys.
I'm happy we recorded today.
Um,
It doesn't matter if we get 5 views, 10 views, 100,000. We're happy here
yeah,
to
it's to talk about
record,
life.
give a word. Sometimes like today, we really just wanted to, right? There's other days that we are gonna have a lot of things that we're gonna. And again, we have a lot of things in the pipeline that we are
Mm-hmm.
gonna discuss. But we enjoy this.
Yeah. Oh, I
So
think I had a Bible verse I wanted to share
and
before we shut out.
I hope that you guys also enjoy this as well. And if you do, comment below, share, show some love, please. The views are good, but we like the shares. This will help with the algorithm
He said the algorithm.
and get us excited.
Yeah. Hold on. So it says in Psalms 94:19, that's the Bible verse that mommy made me in the moonlight. Says, when my anxious thoughts multiply within me, your comforts delight me. Right? So in the midst of the heaviness in here, in the midst of everything that happens, that God is greater. Right? So he brings comfort to me in no matter what I do. And I think that, you know, in anything you do, I feel like he can just one prayer, one conversation, one worship song can make such a difference when you are feeling overwhelmed, right? There's so many practical things to do. They like, meditating, journaling, putting away your phone, exercising, doing things you enjoy, connecting with friends. But honestly, what has helped me in the busyness of life with everything that we do when I've been a full time grad student and a full time employee and a new mom to Alina was seeking God,
Yep.
putting Him first, praying, and just asking Him for the strength because, He's greater than anything I face.
Amen.
And that's how, He sustains me. And this is how I'm still here, standing.
Yeah.
Barely, but we're
A
here.
shift happens, right? It's crazy how from the chaos, from everything is going so fast, all of a sudden he's able to shift everything and just give you peace, wisdom, calm, that blow of
Mm-hmm.
air that you need, and just reassurance that he's under control, regardless of
Yep.
what you see is not what you see, but what he said he's gonna do.
Yeah, and that ultimately there's something greater.
Absolutely.
That's the faith, and I think that it's crazy to people who don't believe, but that's the faith we have that nothing that we face and nothing that we endure is wasted.
Hmm.
That it's gonna be for a purpose, and there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
Amen.
So it had to be said.
And it was said. Take care, guys.